We'll meet chefs and winemakers, artists and artisans.
People who'll share their passion, bring us a taste of some of life's true gifts.
So get back to real life with Slow Living Radio, Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Live across America, the PM Show with Mike Horn on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Hey, welcome to the big show, ladies and gentlemen. It's the PM Show nationwide, coast to coast on CRN. Lots of stories today, lots of things going on. The Dodgers, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're a sports fan, lost 1-0. I think not only are they bankrupt, but they're run-rupt. I just made that up. They can't get a hit to save their lives. Tough stuff. We're going to talk about Randy Jackson and Steven Tyler are they going to be on American Idol next year? We can find out about that. There's an interesting story out of Seattle about a forgetful police officer. We got a lottery winner to talk about, and we may get into some sound bites and things. We have a special guest in studio, ladies and gentlemen. The great Fred Dreyer is with us today, and this is a man who has a lot to talk about. He was in studio, as we mentioned last week. Just was fun to sit there and talk to him. He has a lot of thoughts and comments. Yeah, that's the Fred Dreyer, the famed football player. Charlie Palmer talked about him this morning. The famed chef was talking about you, Fred Dreyer, because he's a huge New York Giants fan. And he said you were on the New York Giants for a while. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks very much, Mike.
Pull that mic up a little bit closer there to you. There you go. Perfect. That's good.
All right.
Yeah, so he was very complimentary about you. And
great, yeah.
Of course, we know you here from the West Coast, and then for many years, you've been starring in a lot of things, most notably that series Hunter you were on for many years on NBC, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Most people know me from football, and then all of a sudden I made the transition. Now they know me from Hunter, and then now I'm being talked about on cooking shows.
So the cycle is complete, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm fulfilled.
That's it. You're first one in there by Fred. So, yeah, you're talking about on cooking shows and more, but you do have a lot to talk about, and you're not doing any reality shows. A lot of people somehow get into reality shows. I'd rather be on cooking shows.
Actually, this is, and we're being filmed here. This is a form of a reality show, isn't it?
It is, because it goes on the internet. People can go to crntalk.com and sort of peep into the studio. But on regular radio and on cable television, they're hearing us. But you talked about, and we may run out of time in this segment here, you talked about you are kind of a student of radio. You like listening to radio. You like listening to conversations.
I do like listening to conversations. I remember as a kid, my mother listened to the Arthur Godfrey show. And when I would come home from school around 3 o'clock, 3:30, she'd have the transistor in the window, standing over the sink, cooking dinner.
This is Arthur Godfrey.
This is Arthur Godfrey. How are you? How are you? How are you?
That's even better.
And she had Julius LaRosa on the show, who I remember as a kid. And then when I went to the Giants, I met Julius.
You did?
I loved him. Yeah, we were friends.
Now, was he like a big New York Giants fan?
Well, yeah, everybody was, certainly. Yeah. But everybody in Manhattan was. Everybody out on Long Island was the Jets. But Julius was a great guy, and he had a radio show on I don't want to say WPIX. That's not it. But anyway, and we got to be very good friends, and so listening to these shows, the one thing that I remember, we were talking about this the last time I was here, was the beauty of taking part as a the fly on the wall, listening to a great conversation with people, and without being interrupted so much, and taking one subject and just talking it through as long as the people wanted to talk it through. And it was fun to listen to. My mother really got a great kick out of that.
Telling stories, right? It was basically listening to stories.
Yeah, it's just sitting down, like my aunt would come over, and I'd come home into the house around 3:30, and here would be my aunt. They'd be having a coffee, cake, and donuts. And when I came in, my mom would say, "Okay, Ruth, you have to go home now. I got to start dinner. The kids are home. My husband will be home pretty soon." But they spent the entire afternoon just schmoozing and talking about everyday life. And as a kid, I remember sitting there listening to all of that stuff, and I loved it.
Focal point is radio. So it's pull your chair around the TV, the radio, the internet.
Campfire, the radio campfire.
We're here. Fred Dreyer, Michael Horn, PM Show on CRN. Stay with us.